ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। The receipt part and the reaction part has been covered in the Yajna portion. Now comes the third aspect, the response. Response is what you give to the world should be a gift to the world. Your responses always must be of a gift. Your responses always must be one of beneficial to the world. That is how you make the responses into yajna. And this gift that you can give to the world is of four types: dravya yajna, tapo yajna, yoga yajna, jnana yajna. Now I'll discuss the response part and then go into the individual yajnas. So the first thing that ought to be done is what you respond is what you offer to the world. When you receive, the world is giving you. When you respond, you are giving back to the world. So what you give back to the world is what should be what you give back to the world should be an offering, and what you give back to the world must be of yajna. So response equals what you give to the world, and what you give to the world should always be of, you have a choice to give, to offer something beneficial to the world, or you have a choice of offering your agitations and frustrations back. You have this choice. Now what he is saying is, you don't offer your, as it were, you don't offer your agitations and frustrations back to the world. What you offer is your responses, and the responses must be of something which is very beneficial. That's the yoga yajna. That's the response yajnas. Otherwise, unless you understand response as you are offering to the world, then only you will be able to connect what yajna is in relation to the response. What you receive from the world, you have no choice. The world offers all kinds of stimuli. What you can filter and digest is under your control. The responses from the stimuli from the world is not under your control. As in, the world gives all kinds of, the world always give all kinds of stimuli. Good, bad, indifferent is a stimuli that you get from the world. Now, you can't change the stimuli. What you can do is, when it enters you, you can allow that to be, you can allow that to process and take some, not take some, all that you have a choice. So in relation to the stimuli, your choice lies not on the quality of the stimuli, your choice lies in what you choose to receive. You don't have a choice on the quality of the stimuli. That you cannot do, because world gives all kinds of stimuli. When I say all kinds of stimuli, even if you go to a holy place, let us say you go to a temple, satsang, supposed to give you only good stimuli. But even there, all kinds of stimuli, even there, all kinds of stimuli keeps coming. Now, what do you do? When the stimuli enters you, how you deal with it, we have seen. And what kind of reaction it produces, We have seen all this, we have a choice. Now we are talking about the responses. The first thing about response that you need to understand is response is what you are offering to the world. Stimuli is what the world offers you. Response is what response is that which you offer back to the world. Now that which you offer back to the world is under your control. That you can choose. Instead of choosing to give agitations and frustrations and all that, you can choose to give these four. So you can choose. So when you're in your responses, you can choose what to give. If you do that, you are practicing yajna in relation to the responses. Yeah. Understand the response from this angle. Response equals you are offering to the world. When you are offering, you have a choice to ensure that I can give. My responses can be of a good one. Why? Because your response is the stimuli to the other. Your response is the stimuli to the other. Therefore, you have a responsibility over there. You need to be careful about what you give. A spiritual practitioner takes all these responsibilities upon himself. You may ask, wow, I will give. Why should I bother about how they receive? How they receive. We are not bothered about, we are not interpreting, we are not saying how they are going to receive it. That is still their problem. From your side, you ensure that you give positive responses always. When you choose to give positive responses always, you are performing yajna in the response way. So receipt, you have performed yajna. Reactions, you are performing yajna. Now how to perform yajna in relation to the responses. How you can respond? You can respond at 4 levels. You can respond. Your response can be at 4 levels. Therefore 4 yajnas. Since you can respond only at the 4 levels, yajna also is of 4 levels. What are the 4? Verse number 28. Dravya yajnas tapo yajnaha yoga yajnas tatapare swadhyaya jnana yajnascha yatayah samshitavrataha. Yet others again offer wealth as sacrifice, austerity as sacrifice, yoga as sacrifice, and ascetics of rigid vows offer study and wisdom as sacrifice. So four kinds of possible responses. All 4 can be converted into a worship. So first thing that you need to understand is, since you are giving stimuli, your responses are the stimuli to the world, be careful about what you respond. Be careful about how you respond. You should be careful about that. It's a responsibility that the seeker has taken upon himself. Why? Because at all levels, he wants to ensure that whatever he does is beneficial. That's a spiritual practitioner. Who's a spiritual practitioner? At all levels, when I say all level means receipt, reaction, response, at all levels he wants to ensure that whatsoever he does is beneficial. Beneficial to himself and to the world. I said in the very beginning, Karma Yoga, Yajna Karma has these twin benefits. One is Loka Sangraha, the welfare of the world. Another is Chitta Shuddhi, your inner purification. Karma Yoga always must have 2 benefits. Karma Yoga should have 2 benefits. One is Loka Sangraha, welfare of the world. Another is Siddha Shuddhi, inner purification. Both needs to go together. Then only it can be called as Yajna Karma. Only Loka Sangraha without inner purification is social work. Only I say I work only for my purification. I don't bother about the world, means you are not performing your obligations in relation to the world. Why you can't say I will bother only about my evolution? Because in the initial stage of Karma Yoga, you have a lot of indebtedness. You have received a lot from the world. For that, you should be grateful and serve back. Unless that service happens, you can never move up to the next level. Unless the service happens, you cannot move up to the next level. Therefore, Karma Yoga is of two: Loka Sangraha and Chitta Shuddhi. Most of the welfare, social welfare organization talks about welfare of the world as unselfish activity. Vedanta comes and says that is only one side of the coin. That's only one part of the Karma Yoga. It is not only the welfare of the world. If you get too involved in the welfare of the world, Vedanta will come and say, who are you? He who made it knew it better than a man like me. There is a God that is taking care. Now, who are you to take this arrogation that you are saving the world? So, Loka Sangraha is not you saving the world. You don't take the charge that you are the savior. You are the protector. You don't take that stance. When you are working for the Loka Sangraha, from your side, you are from your angle, you are ensuring that whatsoever you give to the world will be of something that is beneficial to the other always. From your side, you ensure. You are not actually interested in correcting the world. You are not actually interested in setting right the inequalities of the world. Adallam, that's not, all this is not your concern. All that you are not focused upon. From your side, your idea is, how do I ensure that from my side, I give proper responses back. So even when I respond, that should also have the flavor of yajna in it. It should also be of the yajna type only. I'm spending a few minutes on explaining the response, and then we'll go into the yajnas. Once we understand the response part, yajna portion becomes easy. But the catch here is to connect to this. The idea here is how do you connect these two? That's where people, and this Loka Sangraha, carefully follow. This welfare of the Loka Sangraha can be done in two ways. One is you doing a Drishtapala. Drishta, meaning somebody is hungry, you give 100 food packets. There is a tangible, seeable welfare. And then there is another aspect to this Loka Sangraha, which is unseen. That is where we will connect Swadhyaya, Jnana, Yajna to that part. The Loka Sangraha itself is of two. One is a tangible result that you can see. Like, for example, you dig a well, you start a school, you build a hospital. These are all tangible benefits, Loka Sangraha. Then there is something which is subtler. We don't say intangible, it is subtler by nature. Anything subtle, we call it as adrishta, not seen, unseen. So the Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna comes under the category of the welfare in the adrishta category. Unseen category. What is the unseen category? Like Swamiji says, no. 65 years I have been talking. Seems to be no benefit at all. Not to take it literally. What he means is the benefit that is done out of that is Same person, if he has built 10 schools, 20 hospitals, 30 universities, the result is visible. Are you able to follow? Now, when you are sitting in one corner of your room and saying, Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu, Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsavidurvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Now, all this is Loka Sangraha in a Adrishta way. Are you able to understand the difference? Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. When they say Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat, let our intellects grow. It is not my intellect. You don't pray for the development of your intellect only. You pray for the development of let our intellect. When you say our nale, what has entered there? Loka Sangraha has entered. Welfare of the world has entered. So now when you are sitting and doing so this Loka Sangraha itself can be done in two ways. You can call it as gross or subtle, gross and subtle. Drishta and Adrishta. Gross and subtle. So the inner purification, the Chitta Shuddhi part is what the inner purification, Chitta Shuddhi part is what is taken care of as the self-restraint, the self-control and all that. All that is taken care of through these two. So when you do this welfare of the world, you have a choice to do these four. Subtler you grow in understanding, you will move on to subtler responses. Subtler you grow in life, you will move on to subtler responses. That is why when the person is sitting and praying for the welfare of the world in one corner, everybody will turn back and say, get up and do something. This man says, no. Even sitting here also, I am working for the welfare of the world, because you don't know what is known as the Sankalpa Shakti, the power of virtuous thought. You don't know that. So if my thought has to have that power, it means I should have that much of it means I should have that much of virtue in me. How does that virtue come to me? The yoga of sacrifice, the ascetics of rigid vows offer study and wisdom as sacrifice. Of the four yajnas, I am moving in the reverse order. And then then we will connect. I am moving in the reverse order, from the Adrishta to the Drishta. What is Adrishta? The subtle response. So we have said response means welfare of the world, Loka Sangraha. Loka Sangraha is of two types. That where the benefits are seen, tangible, and then intangible. Of the intangible benefit not seen, when we do worship in the temple, when we pour milk on the deity, people say, why are you wasting milk? It could have been given to the needy. You fellows are all wasting the resources. He says it is also welfare. It is also intended to the welfare of the world through this method. So there is a grosser method to work for the welfare of the world, and then there is a subtler method to work for the welfare of the world. The first three yajnas refer to the grosser methods of working to the welfare of the world. The fourth yajna, when I say the fourth yajna, means yajna number 9. Yajna number 6, 7 and 8 refers to the grosser part of Loka Sangraha. Yajna number 8 refers to the subtler part. More you evolve in knowledge and understanding, you will move from gross to the subtle. Correct, sir. I want to do subtly again. That is why I also want to give lectures to everybody, and I also want to give lectures to everybody and start correcting the world. கரெக்டா இப்பதான் நீங்க இவ்வளவு நாள் சொன்னதுலயே ஒரு யஜ்ஞம் கரெக்டா சொன்னது வந்து இன்னைக்கு தான். What is it? So I will also start doing the same thing, for which he corrects you. He doesn't want you to assume you can do that already. He corrects you by saying ascetics of rigid vows. Swadhyaya Jnana, ascetics of rigid vows offer study and wisdom. Unless you are practicing asceticism and have rigid vows, you are not qualified to do the Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna. So there, otherwise it looks like him saying, all of you start ஃபேஸ்புக்ல ஒரு அட்வர்டைஸ்மெண்ட் போட்டுட்டு யாரு வேணா ஜூம் கிளாஸ் ஆரம்பிச்சு லெக்சர் கொடுத்துன்னு இருக்கலாமே. ஏன்னா சட்டிலர் ஆக்டிவிட்டி தாங்க. அண்ட் இட் மீன்ஸ் ஐ எம் டூயிங் த சட்டில் யஜ்ஞா only, no, for which he comes and corrects and says no, it's not like that. அப்படிலாம் மிஸ் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் பண்ணிடுறாதீங்கோ. It is not like that. Ascetics of rigid vows offer study and wisdom as sacrifice. So yajna number 6, 7, 8, 9 is responses back to the world, Loka Sangraha. The receipt and the reaction is of the Chiddashuddhi. The 6, 7, 8, 9 is of Loka Sangraha. So by this, by doing this from 3 to 9, he has covered the complete aspect of Yajna Karma. He has covered the complete aspect of Karma Yoga. What is the complete aspect of Karma Yoga? The twin benefits. What are the twin benefits? Chiddashuddhi as well as Loka Sangraha. You need to do both. When you do these two, what happens is you mature. What is the maturity? Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam, Karma Yogena Yoginam. Then you mature into the Antaranga Sadhana, which is Yajna number 10, Prana and Apana. Inner. When he talks about Prana and Apana, he's not talking about pranayama things. He's talking about the shift from the Jnana Yoga, from Karma Yogena Yoginam to Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam. And this person who has developed this, who is doing this Antaranga Sadhana, evolving, has this inner strength. Yajna number 11 has this inner strength, and this inner strength, it will manifest as an external activity. External activity of, carefully follow, verse Yajna number 9, external activity as in Karma Yogena Yogina. Yajna number 12 as in Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam. So the external activity of a matured Karma Yogi is different from the matured, is different from the responses of the high level. So he is bringing in all the subtler aspects of spiritual evolution. He is bringing in everything in relation to the spiritual path and giving a complete set. Otherwise, if we say verse number 28 oda receipt reaction response முடிஞ்சு போயிடுச்சுனா it is complete, no. Then how can you account for Yajna number 10, 11 and 12? It means the shift has happened from Karma Yoga to Sankhya Yoga. You have grown. When you grow, automatically what happens? There will be a change. How the expressions of the Karma Yogi will be different from the expressions of the Jnana Yogi. Therefore, he talks about that 3 and concludes the cycle of 12 yajnas. And then saying, you will know wherever you are, Arjuna, practice yajna and try to come up to try to keep evolving till you reach moksha. So this is how the 12 yajnas flow into. This is how the 12 yajnas flow into the each other, as in maturing to the higher level also. Are you okay? This is the sequence. I want to explain the connection and then move on to the yajnas. Responses means loka sangraha. Loka sangraha means is of two types: the gross and the subtle. The gross is when you can do a tangible benefit. The subtle is there is no, the benefit is, you can't say there is no benefit. The benefit is not tangible. It's not tangible to a person who doesn't have this penetrating capacity. To a person who doesn't have this penetrating capacity. Oh, too fast. First time somebody is saying I am going very fast. Because over. He's saying receipt reaction response is over now. Then suddenly from where the 10th yajna is coming? Logically speaking, it should conclude at the Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna order, it should stop. But then there is 3 more yajnas that is following. What is that? From the evolution of Jnana Yogena, from the Karma Yogena Yoginam to Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam. When I come there, I will elaborate that. Clear? இன்னைக்கு ஒரு ஸ்டோரி சொன்ன மாதிரி அன்னைக்கு அதுக்கு ஒரு ஸ்டோரி இருக்கு. இன்னைக்கு ஒரு ஸ்டோரி சொன்ன லோக சங்கிரக மீன்ஸ் இஸ் ஆஃப் 2 types, gross and subtle, all the story. இதே மாதிரி அன்னைக்கு ஒரு ஸ்டோரி வரும். But nevertheless, otherwise you will have a problem. See this problem after we finish the yajna number 9. Receipt reaction response is over. Where is it starting then? It starts at a stage. What is a stage? Prana and apana, he talks about it separately. Where he has already spoken about prana and apana in the previous yajna itself. Where in the yajna number 5 itself we have spoken about prana and apana already. Indriya karmani and prana karmani, he has already spoken about that. Again, what is the reference to prana and apana again? Here, the shift we are discussing. It's a wonderful shift. Why it is a wonderful shift is because a person who is capable of doing, the person who is capable of working for the welfare of the world at the subtler level has moved on to the Jnana Yoga type. Then comes the prana, apana and all that stories. Are you able to follow the connection? Are you able to follow the link? இது வந்து இன்னைக்கு I'm just trying to link it out so that when we go there, I can quickly refer. As I said the other day, I can escape all of that. Therefore, the responses is of 2. You can have a grosser response or a subtler response. But both are intended towards the welfare of the world. So 2 things. Response, the first point is welfare of the world is your intention behind your responses. All your responses must have this intention of loka sangraha. That is why they will not use any harsh word, they will not gossip, they will not do any of these things. Why they will not do any of these things? Because their intention is welfare of the world. And this, so when we are talking about the response part, 2 points you need to remember. One is it should be of beneficial to the world, and this loka sangraha can be gross or subtle, tangible or intangible, drishta and adrishta. Are you able to follow? Drishta and Adrishta. It means you can do this. What you can do? You can do grosser Loka Sangraha. What are the grosser Loka Sangraha? Dravya Yajna, Tapo Yajna, Yoga Yajna. These are all tangible benefits where you can see it immediately. What are the tangible benefits? The tangible benefits that you get out of this is appreciation, name, fame, and all that becomes the immediate. You get all this immediately back. When you go into the subtler and subtler, it becomes that much difficult. Okay, to put it very simply, you sit and pray at home for 2 hours versus another fellow who has given 1000 crores. What would you see as greater help? What would you see as, what would the world look it as, what would the world see it as greater help? Both are Loka Sangraha only. Please understand, we are not saying it is not Loka Sangraha. Both are Loka Sangraha only. But there is a difference. There is a difference. What is the difference? The difference is this. It can be of gross, it can be of subtle. And then he will say in verse number 32-33, and there in verses 32-33 he says, Loka Sangraha, well, you are working for the welfare of the world, Arjuna. In my opinion, Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna is the best. Meaning, the subtlest, from grosser service, move on to subtler. சரியா? Is the link okay? Are you able to understand able to follow the link? Now I will move on to the individual yajnas. The individual yajna explanation is very easy, the first three. Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna, we will have a difficulty. When I go there, we will discuss that. The first three yajnas, as in Dravya Yajna, Tapo Yajna, Yoga Yajna, is not that difficult. What is Dravya Yajna means? First thing, the Dravya that you have, Dravya means wealth. Dravya means grains, Dravya means wealth. Now, what you can do is, first thing, the wealth that you have is the product of your effort. The wealth that you have is the product of your effort. It's not something that has descended through a lottery ticket. It is the product of your effort. Now that wealth, what you do, that Dravya that you get as the product of your effort, what they did, they took up the handful and they put it in the fire. So even here they were doing the subtler thing only. Not realizing this, people started commenting. Even here what they did, I can feed 100 people directly. I put it in fire and I worship, let it go to everybody. There is a difference. Are you able to follow the difference? One thing is, I can make 100 packets and give. Another thing is, take a handful and put it in the fire and say, oh fire God, you take this and give it to Samasta Loka. Samasta Loka means not only the people that you are able to see in front of your eyes, all the species that is existing in all the lokas. Because species are existing in, according to the Shastra, species are existing in very many lokas. No, don't take it literally, Allah. What it means is how broad the vision is. That's what you need to understand. Don't literally take it as people are there in that loka, people are there in Patala. He's not talking about it. He's only saying how broad is the vision is. To an extent where to what extent they have taken the sacrifices is even when you wash the clothes, and when you wash the clothes, the water gets dirty, no? The dirty water is also offered. The dirty water is also offered. It means the sensitivity, the awareness is so high. The attitude part. Are you able to follow? We literally don't go and give dirty water to anybody. It's not literal. It is the subtlety. It is the attitude. What is the attitude? The attitude is when you offer something, you can offer it to a few directly. You can offer it to a few directly, or you can offer it in the fire and pray that let it reach everybody. Here your attitude does two things. This is where we need to have Shraddha. This is where Shraddha comes in. This is where the Shraddha comes. What is the Shraddha? That not only it will protect you, the God will take and give it over to everybody. Another important thing that you need to recognize here is you give it to God and allow God to decide the proportion, the time and all that. You don't decide. Allow the God to, you don't say, na kuduthirukren, abdiye edthunu enga kuduthirungonu, you don't say. You say, I have given it to you. The proportion, the time, who has to be given what and all that is left to you. So what are you doing? You are giving, at the same time there is no, you are giving, at the same time you are absolutely free from the arrogation of giving. Otherwise you say, I am giving you, carefully edthunu poi appadiye kuduthirungo. God is not a postman, na? Agni is not a courier boy to take and give it. You give it to him and then you give him that power. What is the power? To decide. Look at the grandeur of it. Look at the grandeur of the very yajna itself. You give it to God and then you decide what, and then you tell the God, it is up to you to decide the time, the place, the quantum, the quantity, and all that is decided by you. Because that is why I put it and say, idam na mama. Idam na mama. Sariya? I'm still discussing the yajna part only. In Dravya Yajna, what are you doing? The wealth. The wealth is given. The wealth is offered. When the wealth is offered, your wealth decreases, his wealth increases. Yeah. When wealth is offered, your wealth decreases and his wealth increases, and you don't say, when your wealth decreases and his wealth increases, what is your attitude? What is your attitude? You are happy about it. You are happy about it. Swamiji gives, no, neighbor buys the car, this man throws the party. What is that? He buys the car, why should you throw a party? What does that mean? The increase of wealth of the other is giving you a joy, a happiness. Opposite of that is, இவருக்கெல்லாம் வாழ்வு சார், இவருக்கெல்லாம் எவ்வளவு கிடைச்சிருக்கு பாருங்க. These fellows are getting so much in, what does it mean? Are you able to follow? So first thing that you can do is you can offer Dravya Yajna. Dravya Yajna. You have wealth. You have wealth, and what do? That wealth is a product of your, that wealth is a product of your, that wealth is a product of your hard work. Yeah. That is why, okay, responses back in Akka, you have to be very careful. In the Twitter comment போடுறது, Facebook comment போடுறதெல்லாம் கூட responses back to the world. It should be of something. It should be of something. If you don't have anything beneficial to offer, what do you need to do? Simply, correct. சும்மா இருக்கலாம், கம்முன்னு இருக்கலாம். அதுவே பெரிய benefit. That itself is a very big benefit. Instead of saying, how can you say this? How can you say that this fellow is right, this fellow is wrong? Why do all that? Why even get into? Why even get into all this? Therefore, the first thing that you can offer is Dravya Yajna. When you do Dravya Yajna, your wealth decreases, the other wealth increases. Adhan Dravya Yajna. If I give, sir, will my wealth increase? Then it is not Dravya Yajna, it is Kamya Karma. I am doing this Yajna to increase my wealth. It is no more Yajna Karma. It becomes Kamya Karma. Are you able to follow? So Yajna Karma, so Dravya Yajna means the decrease in your wealth and the increase in another wealth. Abdina, very correct, sir. I will decrease all my wealth and increase the wealth of my children. Give all the wealth to my children and grandchildren, and let me increase their wealth. Adu Dravya Yajna va kedayadu. Because you don't take from the right pocket and put it to the left pocket. Loka Sangraha. It is of the Loka Sangraha. You give your wealth and the wealth of the other increases. Still, it is of an inferior type only. Why it is of the inferior type is because wealth has a very limited utility. Wealth has a very limited purpose. Though it is of giving only, it is of something very, very limited. People say, Parvala sir, limitation, model adu kuduthurunga nariya. இல்லையா முதல்ல அது கொடுத்துருவோம் நிறைய சட்டில் எல்லாம் we'll see later. கிராஸாவே இருந்துட்டு போட்டும், give this a lot first. Then comes Tapo Yajna, sacrifice of the body, parting with physical needs and comforts, and comforts. That is Tapo Yajna. The difference is, the subtlety here is, in Dravya Yajna only the material wealth is offered. Here what do? You go and physically exert yourself. There is a physical service and sacrifice involved in that. You go there and physically serve, sacrifice. What is the ahuti and what is the kindling here? What is the ahuti here? Your body is the ahuti. Your body becomes the ahuti. The welfare of the recipient's benefit is the kindling. Where you offer your body itself as sacrifice is called Tapo Yajna. So what is the ahuti here? The ahuti here is your body. What is kindled? The welfare of the other is kindled. The others may be a material benefit or a physical benefit. It may, when you offer your body as the ahuti, what is kindled? The material benefit or the physical benefit of the other is kindled. But nevertheless, from your side, what is the ahuti? Your body becomes the ahuti. What is kindled? The welfare of the other. welfare of the other is kindled. This is tapo yajna. Then comes yoga yajna. Yoga yajna means, in this context, emotional and intellectual service. One is the material service, another is the physical service. Yoga yajna here symbolizes rendering emotional and intellectual service for the development of another. Like they say, no, teach a man fishing versus giving him a fish. One is you can give him a fish. His hunger is subsided for today. Teach him fishing. The longevity of that service is more. There is a subtlety. Are you able to follow? Another example he gives for this yoga yajna is the group of people who visit the hospitals. There is a group who visit the hospitals and meet up with the patients there, not connected to them in any way. Go there, sit with them, talk to them for a while, comfort them, which is an emotional, which is what yoga yajna is all about, where you are rendering emotional service and intellectual service. What is the ahuti here? Your emotions, your mind and intellect is the ahuti here. Your emotional service and intellectual service means your mind and intellect is the ahuti here. The welfare of the other is kindled. What is the welfare of the other? The welfare of the other as not in anything material, but something higher and noble. In the dravya and tapo yajna, mostly it would be confined to material benefit or physical benefit only. Mostly it will be confined only to that too. In yoga yajna, the very thing that you want to offer is subtler. Yoga yajna, emotional service, intellectual service. Then comes swadhyaya jnana yajna. Swadhyaya jnana yajna is the yajna of self-knowledge. The yajna of the knowledge of the self. Adukku he put a condition. What is the condition? Ascetics of rigid vows offer study and wisdom as sacrifice. Inga Loka Sangraha has taken a very, Loka Sangraha has come to the subtlest point. Here the Loka Sangraha has reached the subtlest point. The ascetics of rigid vows offer study and wisdom as sacrifice. What is the ahuti here and what is kindled here? The ahuti here is the ignorance becomes the ahuti. The ignorance, the avidya is the ahuti. The ajnanam is the ahuti. Wisdom is kindled. Wisdom is kindled means you have reached a very high level of spiritual evolution. Maybe self-realization also. You can take it to that level also. You can take it to the level of liberation itself. You can take it to the level of self-realization. You can take. No human being can perform any greater service than this. The highest Loka Sangraha that you can do, the best Loka Sangraha that you can do is to remove the fundamental ignorance of yourself. Look at the shift here. Not removing the ignorance of another. Or he gives such a, he will build up, and then he will give a twist here. The twist is The highest sacrifice that you can do to the best sacrifice that you can do to the welfare of the world is what? Get rid of your ignorance. Don't worry about removal of the ignorance of the other. That you can never do. You can remove your ignorance. When you remove your ignorance, by default you become the greatest beneficiary. Even if you are staying quiet, even if you are not uttering a word, sitting in silence also, you become the greatest beneficiary to the world. How? Because physical, emotional, intellectual services, all these are diminishing. Though there is a subtlety, all this diminishes and keeps the person in, still it is of the world only. That is why in Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna only he brings the shift. The shift is the subtlest. What is the subtlest? The ahuti here is your ignorance. What is your ignorance? What is your ignorance? I am this limited self. I am working for the welfare of this world. The world has to be I need to achieve Siddha Shuddhi. World also has to become good. I also have to become pure. Idalla. All these he understands it. All these he understands as. All these he understands as what? All these he understands as ignorance, and that he gives up. ஏன்னா இல்லாத ஸ்னேக்கு என்னத்துக்கு இவ்வளோ டிராமா? For the world that is not at all there, for that which is our temporary existence, where all this is coming in. So he has taken the discussion to the highest level, as in ignorance of what? Ignorance of I am the ignorance of I am the karta, I am doing all this for the welfare of the world, and all that itself he let go. Why? Because he understands the fundamental cause, the fundamental root of all these problems is avidya, ignorance. What is the fundamental cause for all this? The fundamental root for all this? Avidya is the cause. Since ignorance is the cause, what you give up as ahuti? The ignorance itself. So when that ignorance is burnt, it kindles. When ignorance goes, what is kindled, as it were? Brahman, the knowledge of the self. So Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna is the yajna where you offer ignorance as the ahuti. Realization is kindled. Who is the beneficiary here? Who is the beneficiary here? Both are benefited. Both are benefited. Both means who? The subject as well as the object. Because Brahmavit Brahmaiva Bhavati. He has become Brahman. And a knower of Brahman, what he will be giving? A knower of Brahman will be giving Brahman only. Knower of Brahman will not come and give us check, no. A knower of Brahman will not give you anything that is lower in nature. The knower of Brahman will not give you anything that is temporary by nature. So what he gives only, he continuously keeps giving the ultimate. Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna. He gives as it were the self to other. He gives as it were. Self cannot be actually given and all. It's figurative. It's very, very dramatic. It's very poetic. It is. As it were, he gives the self. How he gives the self as it were? His very presence is the proof. His very presence motivates people to, his very presence motivates people to work for the self. It means, as it were, he has given the, self. So he concludes by saying, such a gift is indeed far greater than any other conceivable gift. Conceivable gift nadan drishtam. He doesn't use the Sanskrit word. I'm using the Sanskrit word so that it's easy, because since we know these two words, it's easy for us to grasp. That's why I'm using the Sanskrit word. But that's what he means. The last sentence in the commentary of that verse. Such a gift is indeed far greater than any other conceivable gift. Means that drishta gifts, this adrishta gift is far superior, because all other gifts has a temporary benefit. This has a permanent benefit. So if at all you want to give, you want your gift to be permanent. No. That is why they give university, they will donate a chair. Permanency, no. You want it to be permanent. Yeah. In the school, you establish a gift every year. This person, when it scores this much of marks, it will be given in the memory of so and so perpetually. It means whatever you want to give as a gift, you want that to, there should be a permanency to it. Now, where does permanency exist? Only in Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna it exists. Therefore, you can have 4 types of responses. You can give as it were. You can give wealth. You can offer your body. You can offer your body means actions. Always remember, whenever we say body, it is not going and giving the body. It is body means actions. Karmendriyas, actions. So you can give wealth, because Jnanendriyams you can't give. No, Jnanendriyams is only receiving. They are the receiving agents. They can't give. So body only can give. Body means actions, Karmendriyas. So one is you can give the material wealth. Another is you can give up the Karmendriyas. Another thing is you can give your mind and intellect. Last is you can give your ignorance. You can give your ignorance. Fundamentally, I have any number of times I have told this story. How Janaka taught Ashtavakra. The famous question of Janaka. What is the famous question of Janaka? Am I the dreamer? Am I the dreamer or am I the waker? He put it in a very, he put that question in that way. Am I the beggar who is dreaming to be the king, or am I the king that dreamt to be the beggar? We have seen this question any number of times. Ashtavakra comes and answers. And I have given this story any number of times. Anything that he goes on giving, he says, Janaka, Ashtavakra tells Janaka, Dakshina correcta pesindrullah, he said. Let us discuss our Dakshina first, fees first. Janaka said, it is against the norm Ashtavakra. We teach and then finally only we will take Dakshina. Ashtavakra said, Adalla, I don't know about your culture and all. I am different. Let us discuss the Dakshina first. What can I am giving you something. Now, what is it that you can give me in return? I am giving you something. What is it that you can give me in return? Dravya yajna, tapo yajna, yoga yajna, ella list Janaka said. And Ashtavakra kept on saying, not this, not this, not this, not this, not this. And finally Janaka jumped out of the seat, recognizing that, oh my God, I have ignorance. I have ignorance. He said, give that. Give that. Ahuti. So what do you give as Ahuti? Your ignorance is the Ahuti. When ignorance is offered, what is kindled? Wisdom is kindled. When ignorance dies, knowledge comes. What is ignorance? Ignorance in the form of vasanas, ignorance in the form of desires, ignorance in the form of kartrutva and bhoktrutva, all that. All this combined is what ignorance is. When you say give up ignorance, what does it mean when we say give up ignorance? Ajnanata utrungonna, what all you are giving up? Likes and dislikes, the vasanas, the kartrutva, the bhoktrutva. When all this is given up, which is what ignorance is all about, what is kindled? What is kindled? Wisdom is kindled, self-realization is kindled. Very subtly telling Arjuna, chapter 1 la mulukka you spoke about Loka Sangraha, welfare of the world and all. You remember how much he spoke about the welfare of the world, as though if you are really interested in the welfare of the world, Arjuna, what you should do, not running away from this fight, is not Loka Sangraha. If you want welfare of the world, if you are so keen on welfare of the world, see, most of the time when a human being talks about the welfare of the world, it is only lip service. They really don't mean it and all. They really don't mean welfare of the world. Allah. What will I get through that? Remember this? We have said any number of times. The fellow will go to a temple, donate one tube light, and write the entire family history in the tube light. So even when we are giving something, we want there is something that we want in return. Yeah. What is yajna karma? Try to perform an action without wanting anything in return. That's what yajna karma is. It can be, a simple activity like somebody leaves their wallet behind, somebody leaves their umbrella behind. You pick it up and give. Looks like a simple activity where you are not expecting anything in return, no? It looks like that, no? But if you penetrate, if you dig deeper, if you penetrate, you can see the hidden thing in that. What is the hidden thing in that? That person doesn't recognize it. He just snatches it and walks fast. You will say, or at least you could have turned back and said, at least thanks he could have said, no? It means even that innocent, even what it looks like, this innocent act of giving it, there is a hidden expectation. Now, what is yajna karma means? Yajna karma means becoming aware of those hidden expectations and saying no to that. Yajna karma means becoming more and more and more aware of those hidden expectations that is inside you and saying no to that. Like when they say, when the parent takes care of the children, do you think the parents don't have anything in return? They have something in return. What is it? They want something in return. What is it that they want something in return? At least they should visit me once in a while. At least once in a while they can just say hi to me at least. Okay, I understand that they are all very busy. They all have to lead their lives and all that, sir. But, and the but to andurthu now mean the hidden expectation. And if the child wins the race before me, wins the race before me, I am still alive and the child is dead enough, that child is finished for the rest of the life. Are you able to follow? Why? Because how can the child go? How can the child go before me? So even in that act of parenting, so many hidden expectations are there. What is karma means? Becoming aware of those hidden expectations and keep saying, becoming aware of those becoming aware of those hidden expectations and saying na mama and putting it in the fire. Saying na mama and offering it in the fire. Now, this is what offering ignorance means. I am discussing fourth yajna. Sorry, the fourth yajna in the sense of Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna. Now, what is offering ignorance means? Offering ignorance means awareness of all the hidden expectations in me, which is not available to me at the superficial layer, which is not known to me at the surface. The host has to unmute me. ரொம்ப பேசுறது போறோம்னு நிப்பாட்டிட்டார் அவரை. போறோம் ignorance offering எல்லாம் we have offered our ignorance and enough of offering ignorance. Are you okay? So what is offering ignorance means? Offering ignorance means being aware of the hidden expectations. Being aware of the hidden expectations and let go of that. It means that much of intellect is required to penetrate and understand the hidden. It means that much of intellect is necessary. Are you able to follow why intellect becomes an important tool now? Because it is the intellect that can penetrate and become aware of the hidden expectations. Because the expectations are hidden most of the time. It doesn't manifest, it hides. If my intellect is not available, the guru will always point out and say, these are your hidden expectations. When the guru points out the hidden expectations, you get very frustrated, you get very angry. Because you say, he doesn't know about me as yet. He is thinking, I'm also like others. He is penetrating and looking at what? He is penetrating and looking at the hidden expectation. Now, either you can do it by yourself or you can surrender to the, either you can do it by yourself or you can surrender to the guru. Now, having a guru and all is an extraordinary luxury. அதுக்கெல்லாம் நிறைய புண்ணிய கர்மா பண்ணிருந்தா you can have a guru எல்லாம். Opposite of that is you can develop your intellect and safeguard yourself. But nevertheless, intellect function is the same. What is the function of the intellect? The function of the intellect is to recognize the hidden, to recognize the unseen, unknown, hidden expectations. When we say hidden means it is unseen, unknown. Just because it is unseen, unknown doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It is there. It is there all the time. That's why I gave simple examples. Like somebody leaves a wallet behind, somebody leaves the umbrella behind, you pick up and give, and that person doesn't respond. Or if he responds negatively, just grabs from you and walks away fast, there will be a slight இவருக்கு போய் ஹெல்ப் பண்ண அதுக்கு நான் சும்மாவே இருந்திருக்கலாம். Instead of help, I could have kept quiet rather helping this fellow. It means there is a hidden expectation. Giving Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna, giving up ignorance means your ignorance. Ellarum, see, we are all irritated by the ignorance of others, no? In Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna, you are irritated about your ignorance. That's the difference. Generally, we are irritated and frustrated about the ignorance of another. Why we are irritated and frustrated about the ignorance of another? Because I am wise already. I didn't even penetrate and understand my ignorance. That is why I get irritated at the ignorance of the another. The wise one is compassionate. He doesn't get irritated, frustrated at the ignorance of the other because he is compassionate about it. So here what do you offer? You offer your ignorance as the ahuti. And what is kindled? Wisdom is kindled. Wisdom is kindled. A wise man, his existence itself is enough. A wise man, existence itself is enough. When I say existence means not necessarily through the physical body. Not necessarily through the physical body. Even after him shedding the body also, he continues to inspire generations towards moksha. Just as Buddha is able to inspire generations for moksha, Shankaracharya is able to inspire generations for moksha. It means they become the greatest. They become the greatest givers. They become the greatest sacrificers. What is the greatest giving now? Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna. The word that he uses is Yatayaha. Yatayaha means ascetics. Samshitavrataha. The Yatayaha. Who does this Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna? The Yatayaha Samshitavrataha. Yatayaha means ascetics. Samshitavrataha means those of rigid vows. What is the rigid vow? What is the rigid vow? At any point of time, that person is keen on removing the ignorance. That is the rigid vow. Not a split second he compromises from that ideal. He doesn't say, okay, Sunday I will take a break from ignorance. Monday to Saturday I will work hard and remove my ignorance. Sunday I will take a break. He doesn't do that. The rigid vow means there is a permanency to that vow. Samshitavrataha. Samshitavrataha means a permanent vow. What is the permanent vow? Till I get there, this yajna will not stop. Till I get there, this yajna will not stop. What is till I get there means? Ignorance removed from the root. Till the ignorance is removed from the root, I will not stop this yajna. That is Samshitavrataha, rigid vows. Whoever is practicing this, they are called ascetics. So these ascetics of Samshitavrataha practices Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna. These ascetics of rigid vows practice Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna. What is the rigid vow? Through my responses, I am giving ignorance to the world. I should not be giving ignorance to the world anymore. When I am responding, if I am ignorant, what am I offering to the world? What am I giving to the world? Ignorance. You give ignorance and would you call it as Loka Sangraha? You give ignorance and would you call it as Loka Sangraha? It means the very purpose of Loka Sangraha itself is defeated. Therefore, the Yatayaha has taken this Samshita Vrataha. Are you able to follow? It's a wonderful connection. Responses is what you offer to the world. If you have ignorance, even though you are doing Dravya Yajna, Tapo Yajna, Yoga Yajna and all that, in and through all that, subtly what is given? Ignorance. Now, when you are giving ignorance to the world, it means there is no Loka Sangraha here after that. Or if you want to do Loka Sangraha, you should not be giving ignorance to them. It's an attitude that you have inside of you. Even if I am interested in the welfare of the world, I should not be giving ignorance to them. Like Ramatirtha gives a beautiful example. If you are sad, melancholy, lock yourself up in the room, he says, no. Whenever you are sad and frustrated and irritated, lock yourself up in the room. Whenever you are irritated, don't make phone calls to anybody. When you are frustrated, don't go out and do anything. When you are irritated, lock yourself up in the room. Why? Because what you are offering to the world is that should not be you are offering to the world. What you should offer? Beneficial. And what is beneficial? What is beneficial? Dravya yajna, tapo yajna, yoga yajna, swadhyaya jnana yajna. Of these 4 type of responses, which is of Loka Sangraha, which is of benefit to the world, Arjuna, I would recommend Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna, because you spoke to me so much about the welfare of the world. You spoke so much about we should help the world and all that. When you are talking so much about helping the world and all that, what is the real help that you can do to the world? Remove your ignorance. Adukku valiya paru. How to remove your ignorance? Seek that marga. Now what are you doing? You are thinking that you are going to give welfare to the world by running away, and all that is not welfare. You are only giving ignorance. What is the ignorance that you are giving? Escapism is the method. You are giving ignorance to the world. What kind of Loka Sangraha is this? Are you able to follow? What kind of benefit is this when you are telling people escapism is the way? That is why, Arjuna, I will not do this. I will stand here and fight. Whatsoever the consequences are, I will take it, but I will not. Now, if this is what you are giving knowledge. It is Loka Sangraha. Opposite of that is difficulty in a runaway. If that you are giving now, where is Loka Sangraha in this? So he says, your responses is that what you are offering to the world. I am summarizing now. Is it okay till now? If there is anything, we will take it up next class. I have made it. I can't say I have made it simple. No, it is not that complicated to understand. I'm just summarizing. Your responses are what is offered to the world. So whatsoever you offer to the world must be of nobility only. You don't offer your ignorance, you don't offer your negativity to the world. You offer that which is valuable to you. What is valuable to you? Wealth is valuable to you. Your actions are valuable to you. Your emotions and intellect is valuable to you. Yeah. You can give all that. And then you can do something subtler than all this. What is the subtler that you can do above all this? The subtler that you can do is you can give up your ignorance. How is that an yajna? How does this benefit the world? When you have given up your ignorance, all your responses, what you will be giving to the world through all your responses when your ignorance is gone? You will be giving Brahman as it were. When you are giving Brahman as it were, that is Loka Sangraha, the highest sacrifice. So the receipt, the reaction, the response. From Karma Yogena Yogina, he has taken it to the height of self-realization as it were. A person who does all these has evolved to the next level, Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam, which is very subtly, he starts from versus Yajna 11, Yajna 10, 11 and 12. So when we conclude Yajna number 12, we would have done the cycle. What is the cycle? Jnana yogena sankyanam karma yogena yoginam. But what is the ideal? Moksha is the ideal. It means you have to travel this path, and I have given you the complete roadmap of how to travel and get to that state. Therefore, this yajna karma, this 12 yajna portion becomes one of the very important portions of the Bhagavad Gita. With this we conclude for today. We'll continue later.